Belder, with her being her district, she might chime in online, or she might stop here in a little bit. She was out of town for uh, a conference yesterday, so. But this is upon y'all request downtown to look how we collect our trash, or some different options to collecting the trash. So I'm gonna hear your options and what I'm gonna do. Once we hear the options, we're gonna go back and see what's feasible, and then try to make that turn to help everybody out. I wish everybody had been here because every time we try to do something, only a few people, it don't go so good later on. So I might, once we discuss some things today, we might have to come back and see can we redo it just to get some more people downtown here. So it don't look like we doing something just for a select amount of people. Just to be transparent and everything. And I will pause there. Anybody want to open with a suggestion?
Well, I guess the biggest concern that we have right now, well, there's a couple of them, is first of all, some of the merchants that do not have their own dumpsters are having to keep their trash inside their business for 6 days. I know in the past there was 2 pickup days a week, and now it's down to one, or in some areas, I'm being told it's still getting picked up twice a week. In other areas, it is not. So we definitely need to figure out that miscommunication. And then on the days that it is time for pickup, they're told to just put their trash out on the sidewalks. And obviously, that's not very attractive either. And then we have the situation where we have multiple restaurants with multiple dumpsters that are not pleasant to look at and take up parking spaces that we need, especially now that it's getting busier. And we have these incoming restaurants that will need dumpsters, and their location is even more prominent. Um, so I think a couple of things that we were looking at was, or the main thing that we were looking at is a central area where we could put possibly 3 dumpsters, a grease trap, and hide it with some sort of fencing, with some sort of block or something that the business owners can have codes to or keys to or something of that nature, so that they can just take their trash there at the end of the day. We have an area on Mary Street. It's a parking lot owned by the DWDA that has a grass area that could fit a couple of dumpsters that we could use in order to get it to a central location for a lot of the business owners, especially for the ones. I mean, restaurants shouldn't have to keep their trash in the back either, and salons have chemicals and all that stuff. Clothing stores have boxes, paper, and all of that stuff, and they just need somewhere that they can take it at the end of the day so that it's not piling up in their business or on the sidewalks, which is what is currently happening.
So how often do the bags get picked up by Ryland?
Let's come up to the table if they can't hear you.
How often do the bags get picked up? How often do you put them out by Ryland?
Most of the businesses, from what I'm being told, are only getting picked up once a week.
So do y'all have a trash can or?
So the DWDA, we have our own trash cans and dumpster for our buildings, but obviously, like places like Melissa's, with rumor has it, she can't have a rolling trash can where she is. So I mean, Kevin lets her use their dumpster sometimes, or she has to take it home with her. So
Yeah, because there's no way I'm keeping it in the store for 6 days. I mean, we do perms, we do all kinds of chemicals, things like that. Not only that, but it's a historical location, and I pay $50 a month for pest control. You can't have stench and things of that nature. We've got a gnat problem with the water, system downtown, and every couple of weeks you get gnats coming out of the drain. And if there's anything sitting there, a cup of water, it's going to draw them. Honestly, if it's just one bag, I'll go and put it in the receptacle there on the sidewalk that's already provided by the city, which, it's not never being really, there's not anything ever in it. So my one bag of trash is not a big deal. Now, if I have boxes or things like that, then I ask Kevin, my landlord, to allow me to use his dumpster. One of the things that sparked this is we were having a water bill issue with some of the other businesses, and we came down to inquire about why some of the differences were there. And that's what brought this up, is because there was an additional $21.75 with a verbiage that said trash bags that had been added to the bill. And that's what sparked the communication of it up. And it's like, so I usually pay my bill online, but now I have to come down here to pick up my trash bags that I pay for. Trash bags that I'm not going to use. They're great trash bags. I mean, they're wonderful, good, thick, nice trash bags, but there was no communication about that. And, upon asking about it, I was told that I needed to store the trash in my salon, and it could be picked up once a week. I would have to put it out on the sidewalk after once a week. And I mean, that's just not an option. I mean, I have no problem paying for trash. Trash is a real thing. It's something we all need. We want to keep our cities clean, our buildings free of pest controls, things like that. We need trash services. And the $21 is absolutely not a problem at all. But keeping it inside your store is. I mean, I don't know how people have been doing it for supposedly the last 30 years, but I would think that would be health code issues with restaurants. We don't have my unit is not big enough. I don't have anywhere that I could store it. So then you've got trip hazards, you've got, all kinds of different things that can cause problems with storing stuff like that up in, these old buildings. So we had went to the Downtown Development Authority as the Merchants Association, because I'm also the president of the Downtown Merchants Association. And there were several business owners like myself who have a small unit. We don't have a place for a rolling round garbage can. Obviously, we don't have a dumpster. We rent our units. We don't own them. And so we did ask for the advice of the Downtown Development Authority, and Laura dug into it and came up with some very feasible options. And I think the option that she's talking about would be amazing for all of us, because we could secure it. We wouldn't have people coming in and putting unnecessary trash in them if it had a gate code or something. And we can all pay for it. I mean, like I said, trash is something you have to pay for. I mean, it's not free. I pay for it at home,
That street or by Katie's.
Yes, ma'am.
Street is that?
That is
Parker. Is
Parker.
it Parker?
Yeah, Parker. And that's where that parking lot is right there behind Yarborough's. So it'd be on the corner of Parker and Mary, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
To put roll off for
Yeah.
a container.
Something, a couple of them, and it could benefit everybody. I mean, like I said,
Some cities have that. They have a fenced in.
right. And I mean, if we're going to pay $20 a month for it, if everybody does it, I don't see, it may be a little more than that. I don't know. We'll have to do the research on that. But I just feel like as a whole with our city, even putting it out, like if I leave my shop on Wednesday night and I put trash on the road for you guys to pick up Thursday morning, I mean, there's no telling what kind of varmints and animals and stuff are going to get into it overnight. And then what are we going to do? We're going to have a mess, to clean up.
Raleigh's already got 2 dumpsters on the opposite side of the road. Katie's and
Yeah, those are the back side of the building. So I think it's for Pops, maybe for the new place on Pendleton, and Katie's.
The
It may even
dance.
be
I
Ty
think so.
Smiles over there,
No, I
Yes,
think the
Ty's
dance.
Is
all across the street.
Right. and
Yeah.
around the building to
And
that.
Zales will have to do that as well, because they won't be able to put a dumpster out for them as well. So that's the upcoming issue, is this restaurant, and then, potentially some more in the future are going to have nowhere to go. And the only place to put a dumpster, you're going to have it right there on Pendleton and right there in front of Phoenix Park.
I don't know how that works.
I mean, I don't think anybody would prefer to have dumpsters on
Yeah,
that
because our
main
parking's
street.
limited as it is.
Mhm.
But not only that, I mean, dumpsters smell, and they're, an eyesore too for our community. And we're having so many events and things now, downtown, and we've got so many more businesses downtown now that, obviously it's the trash is different from 30 years ago. The amount of people we have down here is different from, the past. So we've got to keep growing with that, to have a solution. for the amount of trash that we're all accumulating.
Well, and the problem that I guess for my business is I was just made aware that there's a dumpster for the Phoenix building. I just moved in January, so I did not know there was a dumpster. So when I presented that, or when I was asking about that here, at City Hall, it was basically when I told them I don't use the trash bags and I don't use that, it was like, well, sorry, for your luck, you still got to pay for it. So I didn't really love that idea. If I'm not utilizing a service, then why am I paying for it? And especially now knowing if I have a dumpster behind Phoenix, I don't know if Phoenix building owns this dumpster. So now that I know that, I can just take my trash there. But I don't want to continue to pay for something if I'm not even utilizing it. And like Melissa said, if it's paying for a trash service, I'm all for that. But I don't want to pay for something I'm not utilizing nor benefits me in any kind of way. So that's the problem I have in the trash area for my business.
So wrote down some notes, some things I think we got to do, Nancy. So the city, we need to review all our water bills and utility bills and trash bills downtown. Like just probably haven't done that in a while, just so we won't keep having these instances where people all of a sudden finding out they're getting the bill collected. I think that'll help us out as we transition to our new software update, which will also help us out with the paying the bills, stuff like that. So we'll get on that next week, because I think that's important to start there, to figure out how many citizens or business owners we actually talking about. The second piece on here, what we're gonna do next week, I'm gonna Commissioner Felder, the current trash service provider, the public works director. We're gonna walk downtown and kind of determine the requirements on where we can put stuff at. It's a great idea probably with that, I guess, the church parking lot. But is that church utilized, or is it a building, or is it?
The parking lot next to that church,
Mhm.
I mean, that parking lot does get utilized. In the back of that parking lot, there is like a grass area.
We'll talk about that.
That
It's not owned by the church. It's actually
Yeah, it's owned by
the
us.
Downtown Development Authority. It's not property of the church.
Do people come to church there?
I'm sure they do.
Well, they park there,
But
but
like
where we're
everywhere
talking
else.
about where the dumpsters could go wouldn't
Okay.
block any of the parking spaces.
Okay.
Is that between Yarborough's and the church?
Yes. And then there's that section in the back, so that way it's not taking up any parking spots or anything.
And I think you're talking about Mary Street Missions, which is not an actual church. It's a distribution center that the churches contribute and use it sort of like a food bank distribution center.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then, like I said, y'all made a great point. We do recognize with the number of businesses that are, even since COVID, which the hours being different, that little bit of growth has kind of, I guess it's a good problem, because people open now. So we got additional requirements. Looking at that, I mean, the whole downtown, I can see we have to figure out a hybrid concept, because if I got a business, I guess, on the other end of the plant, I'm not sure how that would work for them walking down. This goes into the joint pan, walking to
Mhm.
wherever. So I know they probably are more likely to like the pickup service
Mhm.
versus walk down there. So, or maybe they got trash cans back there already in certain locations, but maybe we have to figure that out. And then the shared bill situation, that's on us to look at how to make that efficient for everybody. If we do start sharing the bill, how we would calculate that. And that's all those I really got. I think this ain't like that hard to solve. We just need to figure out definite location that everybody benefits from, and figure out, like I say, and we probably need to program in those empty locations that might potentially be locations. We got the restaurants coming in, but other, I think, vacant buildings that might be down the road. So we'll need to figure that out too, and the total cost and the total amount of, I guess, trash receptacles that we need to have. I do think behind the Phoenix, that came up yesterday at the meeting. I want to say if he's paying for that, might be private type thing, but his people he's ready to, she better use that already. And a couple more of the buildings, but the renter owns the whole building. I mean, I'm gonna ask them too why y'all don't have trash cans too. So that might be something they could kind of make sure they do for now, instead of like individual business owners, you got somebody own all the building space, they probably need to provide trash can service. And like I said, we'll talk to them about just how could that hybrid system works. Like I said, if we gotta keep picking up on one side and then dumping on one side, just how would that work and what would those days be at that point in time. So, but like I say, it's a good problem because I mean everything's growing downtown and we got more trash coming out and we just need to figure this out as far as where to be located. We'll look there first, like you mentioned,
Mhm.
Ms. Laura, about
I
behind
think
me.
there are places on further closer to Plant Avenue. We could do like 2 locations if that's
Yeah.
the way that we go.
Mhm.
And I mean, I understand they are getting, because I'm getting texts now that there are some merchants down there that are still getting picked up twice a week. So so that's something we need to look into
Check out
too, is why they're getting picked up twice a week and then the other part of downtown isn't. So maybe that could be a good resolution, is just figuring that out.
Yeah.
So,
But I think even twice a week, that's great. And I know that that's probably a normal thing. I mean, even at home, I only get trash picked up once a week, but I have a receptacle to get it out of my building. And that's fine too. Again, we're not, concerned about the service itself. We're not saying that it costs too much. We're saying that we need a different option besides storing it inside for however many days. I mean, even 2 days in a restaurant, that's a lot of trash. That's a lot of smell. That's a lot of, potential hazard. So with that being said, whatever we decide to do would be great, as far as a solution to just not having to keep it inside the stores. So it may not be feasible to, at this point, because we do have 2 different sides of the town to, build a dumpster situation or whatever. If we could figure out a way to get some more receptacles, along the sides of the building that nobody's using, that are all blank. I was just thinking on Parker Street, there's nothing down that sidewalk, no open businesses at all. Even if I could have a receptacle there to go and put my trash in, would be better than keeping it inside my store. So that's I think our only concern is that, even for 2 days, that's 2 days too many. We don't at home keep our trash in our house for 2 to 3 days. If you empty out your fridge or scrape your plates at night or whatever, you're not gonna keep that in there more than, the next morning you're gonna take it out. So that
Let-
honestly is our only.
If we put more receptacles, I mean the green trash cans down
Right.
there, I guess we probably need to pilot see how much trash, how fast they get full.
Right.
'Cause I guess we could lock those too, some kind of way. So whoever individual store owner has that individual trash can, I guess something we could look at. I ain't sure it could be feasible. And then just saying we can't get that space back there. It might be, and we got to put, depending where the location is, maybe need just a trash can close to their business,
mhm.
and then we do non pickup some kind of way. I mean,
It's like in our situation, it's just KD's and me. That's it. We don't have anybody in Prims next to us as of right now. Hopefully that will eventually change. And then obviously it will need to be assessed if there was a retail store there. And KD's has a dumpster. So, literally for me, my 1 bag a week, or 1 bag a day that I just put in that, sidewalk one. I mean, I didn't see where that was a big deal, to put it in there. And at least I got it out of my store. And again, I don't mind paying $20 a month to be able to do that, as long as I can put it right there
Yeah.
on the sidewalk in that little receptacle. But the communication part of, well, you got to keep it in your store for 6 days and you got to come down here and get trash bags, was, I think, more the issue.
Yeah.
So,
And we have been like this, just looking at other cities.
mhm.
I see some comments about that. So I have looked at the Douglas. Everybody mentioned Douglas and what they're doing. And then when I travel both directions, if I'm going towards Atlanta, Columbus, or back towards Augusta, I do stop in those small cities and look what they got going on. So a lot of them do have that one location, shared space. It fits and closed, and in some cases, it's nice to look at because they have it bricked up and it's lock on and all that stuff. So I think that can work. Those downtown, though, the one thing about us, the way we got the roads running through here, they're it's kind of more centrally located. Like it's either a big square or a big diamond, or everybody can just converge. Versus us have all these side roads and businesses facing different directions and no back alleys and all that stuff. So I think logistical wise, we do got a bigger problem, probably more like a Douglas. So it's hard to compare us to like how they kind of set up. But I will go back and look. Like I said, we probably just need to go out here take team out here to walk around a little bit more and really assess what could be placed where and using your idea first, and then we'll go from there. And then probably going on the other side. I guess we have two sides technically
Mhm.
to provide the same service. And then, like I say, probably still need to do the pickup some kind of way because some people like to pick up. So I don't want to take that away from them.
Sure.
But then we do that, we got to figure out the cost. Because if y'all are contributing to receptacle somewhere, or Big Ben, and then these businesses only they want to keep going their trash pick. I mean, we could probably split it up. I'm assuming it should be easy, right? Like to do two things at once.
I don't know, it just depends on what size it is, how often it's picked up and.
Mhm. We smart enough to figure that out. So
Yeah.
Well, and I don't mind
yeah.
conducting a survey with the downtown businesses. I mean, we've got all of them
Yeah.
via email. We can send it out.
Yeah.
You know, what is your trash solution? What do you do with it? Since nobody other than us came to the meeting.
Well, we did get calls,
Yeah,
comments from not comments necessarily, but I have got called from other people that couldn't be here.
right.
So I mean that's I mean they just I guess it's always a bad time. It's always gonna be a bad time, no matter what time we meet the meeting. So I know they'll probably follow up once they watch this, so they'll come this afternoon or to meet the next scheduled commission meeting. By that time, we've been walk downtown. We'll get some better ideas, and I've been kind of walking around looking at it since y'all brought it to me the first time, and that's when I started kind of looking at. I didn't understand the trash pickup. I'm sorry about that, because, but I was one way I have trash out here every day. So, because some days I can see it sit there for a while, and then like some days it just get picked up. So I do got to check with the team on how we picking up trash down here. That's one of the first things we're gonna do. But like, it's solvable. It ain't like it's hard. But we're glad it's been brought to us to fix. Like I said, Commissioner Feller's not here right now, but that's one of her things too. It's the area beautification. So she'll probably follow up with another meeting with hopefully more people. Because that's the one thing we want to make sure everybody got their chance to voice their opinion, and I feel like we just listen to a few people. Although a few people, that's a good measurement stick of what's going on down there. So, and I will pause. You got any more comments? Y'all got anything, teams? Y'all want to?
Well, as far as I know that we do pick up twice a week uptown up here.
Mhm.
And it's Tuesdays and Friday, and you're supposed to put the trash out Monday night.
Mhm.
So that, and I understand about the bags and stuff, animals might come get in them and stuff. But it was to beautify the city. That's why they didn't put no green cans uptown at all. That's why nobody has cans. Now, if it's a business that serves food, they have to have a dumpster. Like the other little stores and stuff, like the beauticians and the barber salon and stuff that sell clothes, they don't have to have a dumpster. They get the bags. But if you're a restaurant, you have to have a dumpster, and we'll find a spot for a dumpster in the back of the building somewhere, because you have to have one of those. But like I said, it is two. You're paying for two days a week to pick up the.
Does your
the
clerks know that?
Yeah.
Because
they
we were
said a
just
totally
both
different
in
thing.
here like less than 2-3 weeks ago
Yeah.
and literally said one time
One
a
day a
week, Thursday morning.
Well, I think that's with residential, so.
I mean, we're paying our business. We were standing there with our business
Yeah.
bill in hand and was saying, we were asking questions about it and this and that.
But that's
So they knew that
yeah,
we
but
were
that's one
businesses.
thing.
Yes, I was gonna say that. That they probably said that because the residentials only get once a week, but with businesses, as both of the ladies are not really, don't know if that's part of it, because we do a lot.
Okay.
So, if, like I was telling them, and they're probably gonna know today after this time, this meeting, that if someone's asking something, if you're not sure, then just ask someone else.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
we do too. It
Yeah.
is all around, not just one side.
Yeah.
But Terry, you walked in late. We got that written down. We're gonna review all
Okay.
that. We're gonna verify.
Yeah, because
What we
that
got
was,
coming
like I said, that was the only
Yeah.
thing. It was like, no, here's your
Yeah.
bags. You got a 1 day a week pickup
Yeah.
and you got to
We'll
store the
apologize.
trash in
It's
your
twice.
store.
And
Yeah.
we do it like that, and they do twice because they know that y'all gonna have a lot of trash. So you do get
Sure.
more than once, and they come early in the morning. That's when they ask you to put them in, like when y'all
The
close
night
at that.
before.
Yeah.
Right.
Put them out there, so we can.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then it'd be too much traffic, so that's when they started doing early. Like they be out 4:30 in the morning picking
Right.
up here.
So my question to that is, with the bags being set outside overnight, say there is a stray animal that
Yeah.
comes along,
They
tears
clean it
the,
up.
okay. And I mean, I hate that they have to do that,
Yes.
but that's just my concern is if there is a mess. Cause I know in homes, if animals get in the trash, they just leave it. So it's a little frustrating. But I mean, it's not really their job to get out and clean up the trash of something else. But
We're supposed to do it at the house too.
oh, but good to know. That does not
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, we said
but
Mondays and Fridays.
Yes.
Okay.
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'm writing it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Tuesday. Okay, good. See, for a lot of us downtown too, we're not open on Mondays, so it would have to go out Friday night and sit all weekend until Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So that's another,
that is
thing
yeah, I
to
didn't
But
think
now that
about.
you wanna, this suggestion, just run up there and put it out there, but.
Well, a lot of
and
us don't live close enough to just
Yeah.
run up and put it out there.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna get to the point where y'all like the bag gonna be too heavy to take it across the street over there to take it to them.
Well, I mean, if you take it every day over, then it shouldn't. But like I said, I mean, even from when I close my business Friday afternoon, trying to store trash in there over the weekend, until Tuesday morning. I mean, that's still you're storing it in your building for 3 or 4 days.
I think Ty Spice has a little roller.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
use a little rolly cart or whatever. But I mean, my point is I'm not storing it in my building for 3 or 4 days, over the weekend while I'm gone. So I've got to take it out and take it somewhere because come Tuesday morning when I get there, it's gonna smell in that old building. So
Okay. Well, I think we identified all that. Like I said, we'll sit down and look at it. I mean, it ain't super hard to figure out. It might be a hybrid combination of everything, and it can benefit everybody. Like I said, this is a good conversation because we need to review
sure.
our policies. And I go back to even when I first got here, and everything was closed at 5 o'clock downtown. That's only been a year ago, and so I understand. Like now things are open downtown. We look at everything, including our trash collection. And now y'all mentioned about the animals. Yeah, our policy is to pick it up, and I know sometimes um they don't, but we're gonna get on top of it this year too. I mean, for the most part, they do a good job. I mean, they try their best, but from my understanding, a lot of times the animals we've already kind of put the trash out late, and they do have cameras on the trucks, so people say stuff, and I go look at the camera. It's a little different, but
it's a little different.
I just encourage the citizens just to call if they forget to put it out. It's like easy on us and a little cheaper that way.
And let me
Like-
clarify, sorry,
Mhm.
that when I said home, I live in Blackshear, so I don't know that it
Oh.
has anything to do with Waycross. I was just saying
Okay.
there. So I just want to let you know it's not a Waycross thing there at home.
Blackshear not the enemy. We all little town trying to be a big community, to attract businesses here, and all this is like good problems like to solve, and it'll help us talk to each other a little bit more too. When we fix other things, I'm sure there's some other things going on downtown because of the traffic increase, and we probably need to do more beautification down there with some of the vegetation. I know that came up as well, so we're gonna get on top of that. But we'll look real fast, make sure we miss nobody with no questions out here in the virtual space. I think we addressed everything pretty much for those who had questions. But and my public works director has walked in the room and graced his presence. I don't know if he want to say anything, but he definitely will be part of the solution. He got a lot of experience behind it, especially being from Waycross and stuff. So, like I said, we'll get out of next week. We're gonna walk around, look at it, and see what other thing we could do different, and then we'll have a team with us as well. You want to say anything, James?
Just thank everybody for caring about our city. Our guys, we try to go downtown on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, before they go out and do their paper routes. They'll walk around the downtown area and pick up the loose paper, trash and stuff like that. And that helps a little bit, but you still have a lot of issues with animals, as you said, especially not so much dogs or cats as it is, possums. And I mean, reality is we have those inside the city limits. And we just have to be mindful of that and try to prevent the garbage bags from being left out on the ground, that kind of stuff. So when people do come through our city, first thing that catches our eye is how beautiful our city is, and they're attracting to come in and possibly want to open a business here. But I appreciate each and every one of you, Sheila. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Just answering this question. So yeah, definitely. I know parking down there is a premium. I guess we got some cans is in the handicap spaces. We'll get those removed today. I didn't realize we had some receptacles in the handicap location. Like I say, great problem to have. And let me kind of close out with something because I know we got another problem downtown. I'll go ahead and touch on as much as possible. I know we had an influx of homeless citizens that have kind of migrated away from downtown from other locations. I don't know if you came to the commission meetings when we first kind of discussed that a while back. Since we moved, I think the Oath, I want to call it a soup kitchen, but it's help center right there in the corner. I think its proximity has kind of being like the center of gravity for a lot of the homeless people. They try to get close as they can there, so they eat there. Some they get hot meals there. They get their shower vouchers there, um, and other things they might need. And they talk to their coordinator there sometimes too, because Oath kind of manages that. So I think that's part of the problem. Once again, a good problem because at least they're getting some assistance, and there's somebody that's in the gap or making sure they make their appointments or the house doing all that. But as a byproduct of that, they are downtown more trying to find places to sleep, and they kind of contribute to the trash because they stuff build up as well. We try to get behind them as much as we can and clean up, definitely on weekends, and we're trying to figure out a long-term solution for them right now. Um, but it is a difficult problem. I mean, you can see across the country, it's a difficult problem. So the commissions kind of challenged me to get with the local business, not business owners, business owners too, but more the community leaders to kind of figure this out. We got a meeting scheduled Thursday with I encourage all local church leadership to please come to this one particular meeting because we do got to sit down and a lot of churches do help out with the homeless, but it nothing really synced on paper. And some of the outreach groups to help out, we really want to put stuff on paper and commit to um, some better systems because right now a lot of people doing a lot of stuff and it ain't really. I mean, it's helping, but because it ain't synced, you know. Um, and even with that, I feel like just going to other places, we do have homeless citizens. We don't have the thousands that some cities have. We do have a good inventory of the adults and the children. Once again, it can be probably mitigated. Will it be fixed permanently? No, because it don't take but one new homeless person decide to move from one space to the next space, and then it appears that we ain't doing anything. But I want to reassure everybody, especially downtown, because I've been preaching this since I've been here about a thriving downtown, a beautiful downtown, a committed downtown. So not knowing the problem, just like it takes a lot of stuff to figure this out. And like for the city staff, we got to be careful as far as liability ourselves, how far we reach in, and then we ain't shaped, we're not structured to do this anyway. So it's only maybe one or two people here, and most of that time it's gonna be a director, just actually doing anything. I mean, for us homeless, because the rest of our employees got to do their jobs they get paid for to do every day. But we are addressing that best we can. Even with this, I've been concerned about because somebody mentioned I kind of got a text now about I don't think our homies digging the trash. I ain't never seen that before because they have food vouchers. I've never seen them digging the trash. I've never seen them mess with the trash outside of putting their own trash stuff they got. Um, they throw away a lot of food because they get donated a lot of food sometimes. So they'll not add to this problem. They got hot meals come from the old place. A lot of our caring citizens provide food to them as well when they see them. So they're not part of this problem as far as that or making it worse. So I guess that is it for right now. What we're gonna do, because this is District 3, I'm gonna follow up with another meeting next week because I want to keep this going so we can kind of figure it out as soon as possible. We'll do another meeting and we'll try to work a time. I guess I guess y'all can't come out to work neither because y'all got y'all businesses going. Maybe Saturday. I don't know. We'll figure out another time to
What
meet
time is the meeting Thursday, you said? You said
lunchtime. I think it's 12
here,
is here.
and that's
Same place.
for the homeless stuff?
It's the faith outreach and
Faith
community
outreach.
outreach meeting, but like I said, the topic will be uh homeless citizens. And then I address it too since I'm on here. I know we got some pictures floating around, uh, some bad, a lot of hoarding, so we'll probably address that too at the same time. since I've been here this last year, a lot of citizens I've dealt with have all that stuff in their yard. One, they're either extremely poor, uh, or multiple people that's in bad health living in that location, so they can't get rid of that stuff. And that's why we've offered to come get it for those citizens and at no cost. And we just didn't attract the amount of people we wanted to help out. So I'm still trying to figure out how to let everybody know, when we put these beds out, we'll come help you out. We got volunteers. But if you don't let us know, then we don't know, you know. But I see everybody circling that around and talking about how the lack of effort behind, um, cleaning it up. So in the near future, we are gonna go into how that works because we just can't go on people's private property and do certain things. And we cite them, once they do pay the bill, then they pay the fine, and then we got to start everything over again with the court process. So it ain't just as simple as go out there and give them a ticket. I mean, that part is simple, but then you have to go to court. That could take a year process by the time they go. The judge might show them some lenience too, because we recognize there's a part of this community that don't have a lot, so it's hard for them to even pay the fines, and he might recognize that too. But we're trying to get creative. We're gonna figure that out too. We might have to pick up the amount of months we put those bins out. But once again, I'm taking away from a service provided by Public Works because they got to maintain them bins. So other stuff might slow down while we're doing that. But we're looking at that too. In those homes, like I say, we got 5 code enforcement agents that come out and do stuff. But they also taking stuff to court. We're also doing abandoned properties. We are doing as much as we can do to keep Waycross beautiful, but it's hard because we got a lot of citizens that you know got a lot of citizens that need help, and a lot of citizens don't want to follow certain rules. So it's always a fine mix. And then sometimes I'm concerned about my employees' safety, and then either police get involved a lot. Sometimes when it's we just asking them to police their areas, and if you need help, let us know because we'll do that first. So, but I see the photos, and so we're gonna try to address that this week. And then once again with the homeless, we recognize the concerns of all citizens about that problem. Um, we're trying to address that. And then back to this trash thing. I appreciate y'all bringing it to us because that stuff get fixed better when you come. You come with y'all brought solutions already. That's a great thing. So, and then like I say, it forces us to look at our procedures and policies, which we're still trying to review right now. And some of those need to be changed and updated. So, um, I think we're in a good space. And I don't see this as like I'm repeating again, but I don't see this as a big problem where it can be like fixed like quickly. And then like this time next year, definitely all those new businesses are open, and the ones that's trying to come in, we'll already postured for all that stuff too. That even more attraction to come in behind that. So, all right,
Can I just interject real quick about the homeless? And this is a positive thing.
anytime you want to, go ahead.
I just want to say that I've been in downtown for a little over a year now.
Mhm.
And in this time frame that I've been here, and as someone that's dealt with some issues with some less than desirable or safe feeling people coming into my shop,
Mhm.
I have noticed a drastic difference. And in fact, I don't really see a whole lot of homeless activity down here, and I'm in my store almost 7 days a week.
Mhm.
I do know that they exist, and I'm not saying that it's not an issue, but I can tell you as a business owner, being in downtown for over a year, it has drastically gotten better. The one thing I do see a lot of is the transient train hoppers that come into town, but then they leave out of town almost as quickly as they come into town. So, but really and truly, they just kind of mind their own business and they don't really, cause any issues.
Mhm.
So, as a business owner, I'm just putting my perspective out there that I have seen it gotten way better.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We talked. I mean, as a team, definitely police interact with them more than anybody problem.
Mhm.
And I just, just to state the problem again, a lot of these people are from Waycross. Everybody, hey, put them in the car and take them back to Black shit, but they from Waycross, so and that's illegal too. Put that out. I swear everybody can hear me. Cannot just take folks off and go dump them somewhere else. I mean, and I heard stories that as they doing to us, but I don't believe that. I mean, they can walk a lot of miles. You'd be amazed. So, but that's not what's, I hope that's not going on. But I know we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So,
One thing I would like to add to in closing is, I've been down here almost 2 years now, and also with creating the Downtown Merchants Association. By no means are we complaining. We love it downtown. We think you guys are doing great. We want to help. We love the fact that we can, pose a situation and actually have a conversation about it. We're not bashing. We're not throwing stones at each other. We're just working together as a team for once to figure it out. I mean, again, we know that it's needed. We know that it's going to cost money. We're okay with that. We just want solutions. And I just feel like it's good that we all can come together, the chamber, the development authority, the merchants association, and the city, and actually have a productive conversation about the upcoming new needs of the city, because we are growing and we want it to continue to grow. So please do not think that we are, by any means, upset with anybody's service. I mean, you guys are doing the service. You're providing what we need. It's just a matter of it. Things can't stay the same forever. They have to evolve, and we have to kind of move with them. So we just want to say, as business owners, that we do appreciate all the work that you guys do. We know it's not easy. We know you get people yelling at you all the time and screaming at you on Facebook and all that good stuff. And we're definitely not doing that. So please don't, think that. We want to help in any way we can. Same thing with the homeless community. As the Downtown Merchants Association, we are going to meet with Oath next week and see what we can do to help as a community as well. So there's a lot that people can do, not just businesses. I mean, everybody goes to the businesses to ask for something. It's not just about that. We're people. I'm a person at the end of the day, and if we do have local people that are in need, we need to step up. We need to help. A comment that was made yesterday that I really, it's had me thinking about it all night, is we can't just feed them. We can't just say, here's you some food and, go on about your way, because they're just going to come back tomorrow for food. We need to help if we can help. We need to figure out, a place that we can make a shelter. We need to figure out places for them to be educated and try to reintroduce them into the world, as a workforce or whatever. So I'm kind of sparked about it, and I really want to get involved. So I'm going to do some more research on it and learn, because I had no idea. I mean, again, out of sight, out of mind. You don't think it's a problem until it's right in your face. But, I do want to help, and I think our organization wants to help. So I'm going to, like I said, kind of dive in and do some more research about it and see. There's funding out there, I think, federal grants and programs. But as a person, I want to help, not as a business owner, So I think that's a great thing that we get to do.
And let me put this out real fast, because it's so if you do want to help out, Mr. Simmons gonna speak on a little bit now if he wants to. So right now for the city, we're gonna start donating just some meals over there on Thursday. That's the hot meal they get pretty much once a day, and maybe some other situations to help them start taking their first foot forward. And I forgot to mention Sweetwater Church. They do a lot too, but they only got limited bed space. But they do a lot. It's kind of unseen with the gentleman they help. I think they focus more on the men more than anybody. And we do have some outlets for our homeless females. That's why you don't see as much females and children as you see the men. So yeah, but anyway, so just also the sports commission fellows, she's gonna be here next week. We're gonna do that walkthrough next week some point in time, and then we'll invite y'all. We probably just want to do like a meeting, we'll just meet out somewhere. Hopefully, it ain't too bad weather-wise, and we'll just definitely walk the whole entire area, point out some stuff that we could do. By that time, we have sat down with our the collections team, and we'll review some of our policies, and we'll make sure to update y'all on what we kind of found out as far as our policies, and then we'll probably come back one more time just to be safe and make sure everybody has voiced their opinion and any additional options that people might want to present at that point in time. And then we'll kind of make some decisions. Then we'll implement those decisions that we made, and hopefully everything will be better from that point on. All right. Well, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, very much.